Hi, I'm Paul.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the People's Podcast. I am your host, Paul Vibes, local motivational speaker. Our show is all about spirituality, self-development, connection, wellness. Please be sure to subscribe and follow us on a variety of different social media pages. If you know somebody that would be a great guest to our show or sponsor, please reach out. I hope you enjoy the episode. Hello, everybody. Paul Vibes here. Welcome to another very special episode of the People's Podcast. I have a very good friend, mentor, and just overall great human being, Kadam Holly. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. So good to be here with you.
Yeah, we've been talking about for a while, and through my practice, I realized everything happens at the right time, and here you are now, and hope definitely not the last time, but it's definitely an interesting time that we live in, and I always admire and appreciate the teachings that you give at the Kadampa Meditation Center in Huntington. And I was hoping for the viewers, before we talk about the different challenges going on in the world now, and there's always challenges going on in the world. No matter what time in history we live, there's always something going on, right? In our own personal lives and as a collective all around the world. But tell us a little bit more. Tell us a little bit about the Kadampa Meditation Center and how you got to where you are, because I see you're in the beautiful main room in the center now. No one else in there, just you?
So I spend a lot of time these days by myself in this very big room, big, beautiful room. But I'm not really by myself because I'm usually talking to a number of people through Zoom or one of those things.
Yes, like we're doing now.
Exactly. We put all our classes online, whatever it is now, 2 months ago, maybe a little more than 2.5 months ago. And so what do we do? Kadampa Meditation Center. We are part of actually a global family of meditation centers. We're a Buddhist meditation center, but absolutely everybody is welcome. We have people from all kinds of backgrounds come here. I think more and more so these days, people understand that meditation is so beneficial. I almost want to say necessary, but I'll just at least say so beneficial. Everybody understands that. And also, I think many people understand that from Buddha's teachings, there's so much practical wisdom we can learn for our daily life. And as you said, all of us personally have challenges of varying kinds. All of us have problems to solve. All of us have stressful situations that we need to work with and deal with. All of us need to work out relationships and how to, have harmonious relationships. That's true all the time. And just especially now, everything is just more urgent, it seems like. Both the pandemic and the general situation in society, finally some very important issues coming into the foreground. But meditation is good for every time, as you said, every time, every place. And I think the main reason that's true is because wherever we go, our mind is going with us. Wherever we go, there we are, as the saying went many years ago. Our mind is with us all the time. And we've probably all noticed, as much as we'd like to, we can't control outside events. We can't control the weather. We can't control the economy. We can't control other people as much as we'd like to. And the one thing we could possibly control, the one thing we have the potential to control, is our own mind, right? Mm-hmm. We have the potential, maybe use a better word, we have the potential to be in charge of our own inner experience. That's the one thing we could actually be completely in charge of. And often we neglect that, right? We try to fix everything from the outside and maybe leave the inside sometimes a mess. Mm-hmm. So meditation really helps us in that way. Of course, we do need to make external changes. Of course we do. We need to make practical changes, big changes, societal changes. But unless our mind is changed, unless actually everyone's mind is changed, then there's still a big problem, main problem, actually.
And it's interesting you say that, because it reminded me of how now there's a lot of there's a lot of being. There's a need to be instead of do, right? And I think that with everything going on in the world right now, there's plenty of things going on right now, important issues and challenges going on, that people are alone with their thoughts. They're home. They don't have all the same distractions, right? So people either going deeper into their practice or getting further away and kind of finding ways to kind of fill the void and distract themselves. And I know even for myself, I have a lot of positive outlets and meditation practices, but I find, and we've even talked about this, during this time, it's really bringing out the best and the worst. And in a way, as we know, suffering is the greatest teacher. So when we do have those moments, and people watching, if we have those moments like everybody does of suffering and challenges, of being in our head, that's usually a great opportunity for us to go deeper into our practice, to kind of look for ways to find, healthy modalities, whether it's meditation, exercise, yoga, to kind of add into our routine. I mean, do you find that during this time, have people reached out that maybe kind of separated from the practice for a little bit, or have you found that new people have been reaching out? What do you find happening during these challenges?
One of the many unexpected good things is that many more people, many new people are connecting than ever before. And yes, I think people who were coming, they stayed with it. Some people had to get used to the whole online situation and figure out how to work everything and all that. But they did eventually. And then we're reaching a lot of people that we wouldn't have before. And people who couldn't take the time to travel to one of our branches for one reason or another, either because they have kids or too far away, whatever it is. And now many people are able to go not just to a class, but to several classes because there's no commute. So that's been an interesting benefit. And you're right, though. You bring up something important. It's funny. It's been going on for so long. It's almost become so familiar to be more at home. You even stop thinking about it. But it's true. I think for some people who maybe they're more introverted, they love to spend time at home anyway. This period of time has been, okay, great, more time at home. For many people, very difficult to be alone more, spend more time at home. But it has been an opportunity to really, it's almost like one way or the other, whether we like it or not, more time alone with our thoughts, as you said. And sometimes those thoughts are very helpful. Sometimes those thoughts are not so helpful. So one of the main things we can learn through the practice of meditation, and maybe Buddhist meditation in particular, is gradually how to work with our mind, learn how to deal with the various thoughts that are maybe disturbing or agitating. It's not that we have to deny them or squash them or, try to put a lid on them. No, we want to look, we want to investigate. We want to understand, where are they coming from? What are they telling me? And is there a way that I could authentically let them know? So, yeah. So I think that's been very beneficial. It's almost like everybody, they didn't ask for this, but everybody was sent on a meditation retreat.
We all are. And you didn't sign up for it, though. Maybe some of us did. But the thing is, though, it's like now is the greatest opportunity. You have the time. The excuse, I don't have the time, is not relevant. You can't use it. It's not valid. You have the time. Yes. You got to make the time. And, I think the biggest thing with meditation practice and with this downtime is to not be so hard on yourself. I think we live in a world that's perfectionism and everything needs to be 100% all the time. And people who are new to the practice, I'm sure you agree that sometimes get turned off or intimidated, because when you are alone with your mind and your thoughts and you start meditating, some people really start diving deep into what's going on in there, whereas maybe they're used to trying to fill the void and not feel. And in a way, meditation to me, which I've been realizing, is to feel fully what you feel and to discover and to look into it more and figure out why you feel this way and why this is happening, why these thought patterns are going on, and to try to find a way to deal with that in your mind where you actually become the witness and the observer. And I know that's a big discussion topic in the mindfulness meditation community, is being the observer of your mind, allowing things to come without judgment, without labeling them, and without, being hard on yourself. Because like I said, when you start meditating, sometimes people get scared because they start realizing, oh my God, there's a lot of stuff going on in there. I don't know if I want to be there.
That's it. Let me go and watch a movie now. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But it's true, and thing is that everybody can proceed at their own pace, really very step by step. And I think everybody, most people can see, even from the very beginning, just doing something as simple as breathing meditation, even for a short time, makes a bit of a difference. It helps people to relax. It helps them to let go even a little bit of the stress. It helps them to reduce the anxiety a little bit, opens up a little space in their mind.
Mm.
And that's a wonderful accomplishment, just that. And then, if they're really interested in more than just de-stressing a little bit, for some people that's what they want, that's great. They want to do a little bit more, then they might, as you say, start to really investigate a
Mm.
little bit further. Investigate their mind. What's the nature of the mind? What's the power of the mind? Which thoughts and feelings are very disturbing and painful? Which thoughts and feelings are very beneficial? And then, could I actually choose, moment by moment, which ones I'm going to be staying with, right? So it's that's a big part of it. But I think one of the most interesting things for those who are interested in it is it really is a path, at least potentially, it's a path of deep change and deep transformation.
Mm.
And it really is a way to become, whatever it is we're wanting to become.
Mm.
Yeah.
And one of the themes that I've heard you guys talk about, and as a speaker, as a motivational speaker, I talk a lot about this idea of transmuting challenges. And as you know, I've expressed overcoming my learning disability. I took a perceived negative, something that I was in my head about, something I felt sorry about, and why me. And I switched that script in my head because I found myself through my learning disability, through volunteer work. And I don't think I would be here doing the things I'm doing and speaking to you and being a motivational speaker and the host of this podcast if it wasn't for overcoming that
Yep.
challenge. And I think some of us, we get so stuck in our head and ruminating over our challenges. And some of each person's challenge, it varies, right, in degree and intensity. But I find that whether it's through meditation or overcoming challenges or both, that when you are able to transmute those challenges, it catapults you into a life that is so rewarding and fulfilling, and you're able to help people with a new mindset and a new insights where you maybe otherwise wouldn't have had if you didn't overcome those challenges. And they say that people with the biggest pain bodies, the greatest suffering, usually have the greatest of the chance to become enlightened and grow in their spirituality. And I met a lot of people, even at your center, who has overcome so many great challenges, intense challenges, that you would be like, oh my God, I don't know if I could make it through that. And they've overcome that. And you see this new person that is just, it's amazing to see just the transformation that we as humans are, capable of.
Yes. Yes, absolutely true. Very well spoken. And a big part of, I think, the spiritual path is exactly what you're saying. We have to learn a way to transform our difficulties, our challenges, our painful experiences into something positive, something valuable, something meaningful, let's say. We have to learn how to do that, because for sure it's going to happen in, minor ways and major ways. And there's actually an ancient quote from one of the teachers, which sounds a little odd when you first hear it. It says, suffering has good qualities. But what he means is exactly what you said, because often that's where the greatest learning comes. And maybe top priority, at least on the Buddhist path, is that's where real empathy comes. We've been through it. That means we know in our heart, right? We know viscerally, we really know what it's like. And that means we can really understand.
It's the yin and yang, to know the light side, you need to know the dark side, right? And, it reminds me of this quote saying that, like, the cracks are what allow the light to come in. And if I could tell you a quick story about my hats and cracks. So I got these wood hats. I was telling you, the set's made of wood. My necklace, the backdrop here is made of wood right here, and the table and the shelves. And within 2 days, 2 of my hats cracked. The first one cracked. My friend was fooling around with me and knocked my hat off, and it cracked. The next day, my other hat broke, and I was with the same friend, and we were joking that he's like bad luck or something like that. But we're just kidding. So he saw me. I was not reactive. I was like, oh, it is what it is. I can fix it. It's fixed now. It's glued it, no problem. When I said to my friend, I said, listen, if being upset and anxious or frustrated about my hat being broken was going to help me put the hat back together, then I would do it if it was going to help me. But it is as it is. Me being frustrated, of course, is at the quick moment, but the more that you have your practice and you follow through with your different teachings and practice and meditation practice, I find that the amount of space where you would normally get reactive is shortened and shortened, right? Yeah. So when my hat broke, I almost was like, in a way, like, oh, it's a great opportunity. I kind of laughed and smiled, and I tried to do the opposite of what my body is maybe used to, being tense and frustrated. And I said, it's not going to do me any good getting frustrated about this. He's like, oh, but it stinks, man. I broke the other one. I should buy you a new one. I'm like, man, listen. And the first time when he broke the hat on me, I said, dude, our friendship is way more important than the hat. You didn't do it on purpose. And he was annoyed. He was feeling bad about it.
Yeah.
And I said, man, don't feel bad. It's okay. You didn't do it on purpose. But it's those little things that you start realizing as you go through your practice of like, wow, look how these different areas of my life have improved because of my practice. I just think it's just a really cool thing to notice.
And, it comes down to that. Exactly. It's that mostly in life, right? It's a continuous series of situations like that, small things like that. And then you can just ask ourselves, once we have at least some insight into this and maybe some ways of changing our mind, then you just have to ask yourself, well, how do I want to spend the moments of my life? How many moments do I have? We have no idea. We have no idea how many moments we have left in our life. How do I want to spend them? Do I want to spend them upset, frustrated, aggravated? Do I want to spend them in that way? Or would I rather spend them in a much more positive and meaningful way? And as you said, valuing a friendship more than a possession.
The hat. Yeah. Would I have done that years ago? Maybe I'd be more reactive, but I'm just noticing how much better the quality of my life is when I do follow through my practices. And I know today we wanted to do just a quick podcast together, just introduction about the Kadampa Center and some of the practices. And I want to have you on more often, definitely in the studio once things clear up, of course. I think that could bring a lot of cool insights and topics. Mm-hmm. But just for the viewers, we can wrap up the podcast maybe talking about some short techniques or advice or tips, whatever little giveaways and things that people who are watching can kind of take home with them and start today. And obviously people viewing this, I highly recommend you can sign up, and you guys are doing all your classes virtually, and I'll include all the links to the Huntington Center. So if people watching this want to see you more often every week, they can do that as well. But yeah, so what are some little, just small little snippets that you feel like sharing?
Well, I can give you a mini version of a super mini version of a couple meditations that we do. And one of them, it's a breathing meditation, but it has kind of an extra visualization to it that is very helpful just to do as a meditation in the morning. But it's also, I find, especially helpful for out in life, in the moment, like maybe as you described, something happens that's would normally be really frustrating, or anything out in the world, we're upset for some reason. And this breathing meditation on the out breath, you associate the out breath with letting go. And there's even a visual to it. You imagine whatever that feeling is that's disturbing or painful. Maybe it is frustration, or maybe it's anger. And you just imagine that takes the form of smoke. So like becomes smoke. And then when you breathe it out, you just breathe it out completely. And you feel that it goes so far out into space, it completely disappears. And if you're sitting in meditation with your eyes closed, you can keep going, like doing that for many, 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 many breaths. Sometimes some feelings are very persistent. If you're out and about, maybe standing in the line waiting for something, very popular thing to do.
I have something to tell you. I stole that technique, and I did it. I know you gave it away, but I actually did that on a hike recently. It was spontaneous, in the moment meditation. It was me and 3 friends. All of them girls, they've never been to the Kadampa Center. I think they're going to want to now. But we sat on a bench, and we're in this beautiful trail in Oyster Bay. It's called Shoe Swamp.
Oh, yes, I know it. Yes.
We should go hiking there one day.
Yeah.
and it was greenery everywhere, no bugs, just the sound of the wind. And I added that into this spontaneous meditation we did, and they all really enjoyed it. And it really does work because we hold in so much inside. So that visualization of just letting it out,
Yeah.
it really works.
Really makes a difference. Yeah. And that's just half of it, right? The letting go part is half of it. That's the out breath. And so that really helps if we've got like some strong feeling that we don't want it to overtake us. Keep breathing that out. And then the second part is that we breathe in, draw in. Imagine we're drawing in a very beautiful light. You can imagine it any way you want, that light. You draw it in, and it's just extremely peaceful, positive. It's carrying this peaceful, positive energy. And you draw that down into your heart center, your spiritual heart. You can keep doing that for as long as you want. Same thing, you know, in a meditation with your eyes closed, but even out there in the world. Maybe you're feeling very low, or very sad. Many things to be sad about. Many people have many things to be sad about. So you need some uplift. So you imagine that this light, you can give it any quality that you want. It's definitely peaceful, it's positive, but maybe also it's uplifting and inspiring. And you keep bringing that in. With every in-breath, you're bringing that in. So that's a super simple meditation, but it can have a pretty strong impact. So that was one recommendation. And then my other recommendation is coming from Buddhist teachings, but it's very simple. We can carry this throughout our day as well. It's called equalizing self and others. And that's just the simple recognition that others' happiness and freedom is just as important as our own. That others, they want freedom from pain and problems and suffering and, you know, difficulties. They want it just as badly as we want it.
That's something I learned there. I remember hearing that from the center that correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember something like all living things want the same thing, to be happy and free from suffering. And I actually put that in a video, and that's one I catch a lot of great things from the center, but that's one line that really resonates with me, is like, I got to remind myself, whether you're black, white, whether you're a police officer or not, whether you're gay, straight, whatever, we all want those same things, to be happy and free from suffering.
Exactly. That's what everybody wants, but it's particularly beneficial, I think, in our very direct relationships with people, you know, people that we know that are close to us, people that we meet. If we always are keeping that in mind, recognizing this person, just like me, they want to be free from problems, just like me, they want to be happy. Right? And then that actually allows a bond to form, right? We're looking at how we're the same. We're looking at how we have the same wishes, the deepest wishes that there are, right? Wish for freedom, wish for happiness. We share the deepest wishes. So that immediately forms a bond between us, allows a bond to form. We see the connection, we see the similarity, we see what we share. We see that equality, instead of looking at, you know, superficial differences, which is what sometimes is happening. So there's two, you know, simple, but I think very powerful practices that we could start to try. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I know there's a lot more we can talk about, but I think this episode was a quick, short one to get people introduced to the practices and the teachings and what they can expect at the Kadampa Meditation Center in Huntington. Now, can you tell us a little bit about if newcomers want to sign up? How does that work? Can you tell us a little bit more how you've been teaching the classes and how that's working?
Yeah, like, well, we always had a lot of classes. We had 4 branches. Now, of course, the branches are not open, but we have a lunchtime class every day, Monday to Friday at noon. We have an evening class every day at 5, and we have one later class on Tuesdays at 7. We always have a Sunday class, and then sometimes on Saturday we'll have classes as well. Right now, if you sign up, we do have a very special, very discounted online membership. So you can still do that. And because the pandemic caused so many people to lose jobs, not be able to work, we offered any class that we have for $1. So, you know, anyone can take it for $1.
And people can still do the monthly donations, right? Correct?
If they want, if they want. And if $1 is even too much for people, then you just need to write. We put an address on our website. You just need to write to Linda Rice, and she'll work it out.
That's amazing. I gotta say, I've brought many special needs friends of mine and friends from all walks of life, and you guys have always been so friendly, and money has never been something that stops someone from coming in. And that's what's really amazing about you guys, is you want everyone to come in.
Yes, we do.
You're so supportive and open. You don't people feel bad if maybe they can't afford it or they can't donate as much as they would like to. You're always welcoming people, and my buddies always love the food. Or something. I know you're not doing it right now, obviously, but always hopefully you guys start that back up when.
Yes, I sure hope so. And
getting hungry.
We're going to start to discuss that soon. How to come back, and I think probably it'll be a combination for a while. Some people coming and still online for a while.
Okay. Well, listen, I look forward to having you on as often as you want. I love your energy. I appreciate our connection, our friendship. I look at you as just an overall great human being. I look at you as a mentor and just somebody that I look up to very much. So I appreciate always your great guidance. And as you know, I like to say good vibes. So thank you for always bringing the good vibes. And I hope that you honor us and just come into the studio one day and have a really dynamic conversation with myself and maybe a panel of guests to really discuss deeply a lot of the important challenges and issues that are going on in the world.
Sure. Right back at you, Paul Vibes. Great respect for your life and what you've done and what you've built. And I thank you very much for this opportunity and look forward to more, for sure.
The pleasure's all mine. I hope you have a great day. Send you lots of good vibes and love. And I look forward to putting this podcast out. And like I said to anybody watching, click the links in the description to learn more about the Kadampa Center. Thank you, Kadam Holly, so much for coming on. I will talk to you soon.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Talk to you later.
Peace, son.
Man for the people, message in a bottle, but he threw it in a podcast. Now it's full throttle. Life is never hollow, but if you ever feel twisted or need to be lifted.